Man,
Take it away, Hughes, God.
show us your butthole.
Action. This is episode 2. We got everybody back in the building. Patrick Hughes.
Hey.
Derek's butt.
Derek's ass.
He's supposed to fart right there. All right. Thomas Harper, a.k.a. Morris Chestnut. You got Jordan Patrick, a.k.a. JXPZTYZ. What is it? And then you got Mr. Money. Mr. Quarantine Money. How you doing, man?
I'm trying to figure out how Tyree ain't Morris Chestnut.
Sorry. Tyree is Morris Chestnut. Who is Thomas then? Makai Pfeiffer?
Mute Derek.
All right, so before we start episode 2 of the group chat, we want to do some check-ins. So how's everybody feeling during these crazy times?
I'm terribly depressed, and I don't know how I'm gonna make it. Each day I wake up and I say, man, another day of this bullshit.
Harry, how you feeling, bro?
As long as I don't get coronavirus, I'm good, man.
We just gonna skip over that?
Hey,
Oh my goodness. I'm feeling, man. Mental health check-in.
Is that Don Gino?
Thomas Harper, how you feel?
chilling, man.
Bro, black men and emotions is just
Literally chilling.
Oh my goodness. Jordan, how you feel, man?
I'm okay. I only get to have contact with my friends over a video game. An occasional Zoom call. I'm good.
Oh, I'm doing good. Times are hard, but
So nobody wants to be honest about how they feel.
Derek, did you answer?
No, I didn't answer because Patrick cut it off.
Sorry, bro.
I feel the same way Patrick feels.
Hey, just as a spoiler, them niggas live together, so.
Every day I wake up and I roll over and look at Derek. I say,
What?
Face on love, girl.
Another day of this shit. I'm gonna look down like Chris Tucker in your background.
Are you feeling better about things though? Has coronavirus kind of
no.
passed? Like, do you feel?
No.
I finally got my stimulus check.
This is terrible.
Finally.
Damn.
How you spending it,
You
bro?
stimulating. That's
I was
crazy.
like, he in jail, bitch.
You said Thomas like in jail?
Yeah.
A woman's rehab? All right, man. So somebody want to talk about how they really feel.
Is this the worst time to be an adult?
For sure.
Yeah.
Is this like out of all times in history, in American history, this is probably one of the worst times to be like a grown up?
It's top 10. It's top
Yes
10.
and no.
I like we don't have to go
modern
to
day.
we don't got to go to war. That like they modern, like not fucking Civil War, no crazy shit, but within the last maybe 1900 to now.
But even with war, you can like I'm not saying you should, but
You can have
like,
bone
escape.
spurs.
I'll be honest. I keep thinking about January 1st and like 2021 and the new year, and I'm like, originally when this all started, I was like, okay, January 1st is gonna be the most fun New Year's that ever was. Like, we all gonna be celebrating. Everybody's gonna be free. Everybody's gonna be healthy. And we in what, August? Are we in July?
Yes.
I feel like this New Year's coming up gonna be some sad shit, boy. I feel like
Everybody
ain't gonna be no parties.
You gotta be with whoever you like at the time. Like whoever you've been around.
That's
and
crazy.
You can't be with the one you love.
Hopefully it's over.
Love the one you with.
I tell you what, I don't know how much chicken Alfredo I can eat, man. Hey.
Zatarans. It's been Publix chicken strips, frozen chicken strips for me.
I've been eating tacos. You said what?
It's been Wing Express for me.
That ranch chicken Alfredo, that shit slap in a box.
Are y'all gaining weight or you losing weight?
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna ask Tom.
I've gained 15 pounds.
Really?
I probably gained 15, 20 pounds. Probably.
Apparently, I've gained the most weight in my fucking life after being around you guys.
Yeah, you fat.
I weighed myself at Publix and I was like 220 pounds.
I was
I almost threw up.
294. I was
Crazy, you
294.
thought it was 180.
No, I didn't think I was 180. I thought I was like 205 or some shit like that.
No, you say it was under 200 pounds.
Yeah,
That's when we're playing basketball.
That public scale is that shit deadly, bitch.
The USF one is a lie. The USF one is a bold-faced lie. It told me I weighed 294. Come on.
Is it a lie?
Is it or not enough?
How you been, John? Since you're trying to get emotions out, how you been feeling, man, about quarantine and coronavirus?
Yeah, this is the lowest I felt, my brother. I got a haircut. I thought it was gonna change shit. No, I'm balding.
I like that shit.
The black shit going on than fuck coronavirus. I mean,
coronavirus is black shit, brother. Oh yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, transitioning to black things that are happening in our world. One of the many dominoes that have affected us is Kanye West has announced his official presidency. He's done it on Twitter and then turned around to a Forbes magazine article. I'm going to go ahead and read some excerpts of the article. So
his views on... Never mind. Don't worry about it.
His views on his support for Trump. Trump is the closest president we've had in years to allowing God to still be a part of the conversation. Okay. His on how the race will be decided. He says, and quote, let's see if the appointing is at 2020 or if it's 2024, because God appoints the president. If I win in 2020, it was God's appointment. If I win in 2024, then it was God's appointment. One of the most important excerpts that I read from this long, interesting interview was his views on the coronavirus cure. We pray for the freedom. It's all about God. We need to stop doing things that make God mad. And then I'll read one more. His views on abortion. I am pro-life because I'm following the word of the Bible. I guess the first question I want to talk about the group chat is, did Kanye West read the room correctly? After the countless, this is probably the biggest movement of recent history for a cause with the Black Lives Matter movement. And Kanye West has just recently made a partnership with Gap for 10 years and a bunch of money. Was this the correct time for him to announce during a pandemic and Black people trying to fight for equality again that he should run for president?
I don't think Kanye ever knew how to read the room.
Or dare.
Ever.
I agree.
I don't think Kanye ever knew how to read the room since he stood on the tables at Facebook and freestyle verses from Dark Twisted Fantasy. So I don't think he ever knew how to read the room. That ain't in his DNA.
It's bad, man. I agree that he never has had the ability to read the room, or he's had an incredible ability to read the room and then ignore everything he just read. But I think that might be what it is, though, because he addresses shit like he know what the fuck going on. He just don't care, which is it's one of the things that I've always admired about him. But this shit now is just like, oh, this shit's bad, bro. Like there's a part in the article when he said the reason that he stopped supporting Trump is because he found out that he hid in the bunker. Like none of the other shit, none of the other shit did it, but the bunker is what was like, oh nigga, you hid. Like, nigga, what? He can say all this extra shit about the myriad of, let's just say, for lack of a better word, people of color. He said it about Asians, fucking Spanish people, and of course, his favorite target, Black people.
Mexican, his favorite target.
I don't know, bro. We've been creeping up that list. I know when he was on that first campaign, the Mexicans had it, but since he got that presidency, he been kind of chill. He just started talking about the wall again.
Yeah, the black people are second term. That's the second term scapegoat.
But you got all this shit going on, and him going in the bunker is what made you be like, nah. Granted, I already thought he was already like, you know what, I'm off that. You know, I'm not going to be vocal about my support of Donald Trump no more. I got what I wanted to get accomplished. I'm going to take off the red hat. Cool. In actuality, he only took off the red hat because this nigga hid in a bunker during George Floyd protests.
I guess my next question, naturally, after hearing both of y'all speak on it, is it time to like marginalize Kanye West again? Like, I understand his creative need to be like, I'm more than a rapper, I'm more than a fashion designer, I want to be more than all this stuff. But like, some of this rhetoric is like really dangerous. When he says stuff like, you know, on his political novice, I say with humility that this as a man, I don't have all the pieces to the puzzle. As I speak to you for what a political campaign, a political walk, as I told you, because I'm not running, I'm walking. I'm not running. We are the people. We are walking. Bruh, at this point, it's like, I don't even want to see somebody on the ballot without any political savviness ever. Like, the whole anti-political is politics is really lame. Because, like, it just causes more harm than it helps. And it sucks because I think a lot of this stuff has to do with him dropping a new album because he just dropped a new single. So, like, come on, bro. Just niggas is dying in the street, bro. Shut up. Just give us some music. Is that wrong?
I think the thing with this is, with every subject is, people don't really have a macro view. It's very micro. And somebody as Kanye West is like very you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very self-indulged. What affects my family? What affects my finances? Which is honestly the conservative way. You know what I'm saying? Because, I don't know. I feel like, just not to demonize, because I'm a Christian, so I definitely don't want to demonize the religion, but people take excerpts of the Bible, which the Bible speaks about. People take excerpts and they kind of weaponize them, which is not even, like, that's like me taking a manual to, like, Photoshop and then just saying, hey, the manual says we should use Photoshop this way. We can't use it any other way. This is what the words, you know what I mean? This is what it says. But if you keep reading the manual, if you read the manual for yourself, you realize there's other things to it. Like me and Pat briefly spoke about it, and he was just saying that, like, the Bible tells you not to openly express certain views for this reason. Like, we're detesting everything that, like, Kanye West might have a good point, but his bad points overshadows whatever he's trying to convey. Not me defending his points at all. I'm just saying, like, he's very into himself, which is why a lot of his interviews recently, like, in terms of politics, doesn't really come across well because they only pertain to him. They don't pertain to anybody else.
That sounds like you're describing Donald Trump, though.
You
like,
know, one thing that the one thing I say about, like, to add to Jordan's point, there was a clip. I don't know how long ago it was. It had to be within the last 5 years, I would say. Maybe, yeah, I would say last 5 years. It's a guy. I can't remember his relation to Kanye, but he was on the radio and he was talking about the difference between Kanye and Pop, and they were saying they're like one and the same, but one just speaks differently. And he was saying that, like, every time that Pop would speak in regards to the people, he would say we, but every time Kanye would speak for people, Kanye would start off with saying I. And I think that listening to that, well, not listening to, but hearing, you know, us discuss this interview that he's done along with others, but primarily this one, like him saying, you know, I am this or I am that or whatever, you know, and it's just like, I think he has to kind of go away from leading conversations talking about himself, even though the person that's interviewing him is probably asking him for his direct opinion on something. I think that as someone who's you know, seriously want to take on this climate in politics, like, you have to know how to communicate. Like, in music, you didn't have to figure out how to communicate with interviews because that wasn't your job. Wasn't to focus on interviews when it comes to music. You know what I mean? And just something creative and entertainment. So you can talk or whatever, people can misinterpret whatever, but we knew where the message came from in the music. But you trying to take on this whole political state, you got to know. Now this is the time where you got to invest into how you communicate, because that hasn't always been. That's kind of been your weakest point. You wasn't the best communicator, so I think that it's we passed the good intention. We passed the we see what he meant 3 years later. It's like, nah, you got to be able to actually be able to communicate. The shit that you thrive about Jay-Z about, it's time for you to step to the plate and like provide that. You
That's
know
the
what I mean?
shit
So
that sucks because we just had that moment. Like we just had the moment with the Wash Us in the Blood song and the Gap shit. Like we just like, oh, so he can make Christian shit, cool. It might not be the best shit we ever heard, but all right, cool. This is listenable and this sounds like some cutting edge Kanye West shit. And then the Gap shit, you're like, oh shit. It's always what he's been talking about this whole time, trying to get the back end. He finally is getting the back end for the clothes. He's finally being able to get that infrastructure to be able to produce at a Zara level or whatever. Finally got the shit. And then less than a week later, you blow the shit up. Like, I'm confused. And then, like, to the abortion point and to other stuff, when anybody brings up the Christian thing, like when everybody brings up Christianity as a reason to why they are, like, hard on a topic, like, bruh, like the Bible is also going to tell you that you got to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. That's for you.
Yeah.
That's for you to do. And you got to count the cost before you follow God. Like you have to carry the cross. So it's not nobody's jurisdiction to make decisions based on what anybody else does. Like I honestly think like the most Christian thing to do is to let everybody do what the hell they want to do. And do your best to plant the seed and hope that, throughout life, it'll get watered and they'll make the right moves. But there's no way you can't legislate somebody based on what you believe in your religion. Like even Christ himself don't do that. Like he lets everybody make their own decisions. So it's like, that's a weird, it's like he hopped out of the matrix or whatever and was like, oh, I see all this shit for what it is now. The culture is flawed. And then you jumped into an even like maybe worse culture, which is directly responsible for holding motherfuckers back and controlling people and making people feel how they feel now, to where everybody's like low key against Christianity and like, I don't really like that. And everybody would rather be spiritual than religious. It's like, these are the reasons
he ain't making
why.
it no better. He ain't making it no better or convincing anybody.
Yeah. He's not drawing anybody in like that. Like, and it's not saying that you gotta like, it's not saying that you have to be okay with everything, or I guess it's not saying that you got to pretty much deny the word of God or act like it don't exist. You got to get a better understanding of it so you can bring in more people. You can't just be out here beating people over the head, being like, oh, well, I'm Christian and the Bible say thou shalt not kill and abortions is killing babies. Like it's not the 50s. Like we supposed to have a better understanding of these things now. But
I'll be honest. Oh my bad. Go ahead, Jordan.
No, I mean, just to piggyback on Pat's point, like I don't know, he just his biggest thing is knowledge, and he don't have it. Like he's like a jack of all trades and the master of none, except for music. The one thing that he's trying to run away from, he's like, he doesn't know anything else, bro. Like he doesn't know anything else. And I'm not saying that like we're theologists and we're like scholars in like the Bible, but everybody know like love is the main commandment. You can't be out here being judgmental, like, because the Bible says if you're gonna judge, I'm gonna judge you as harsh as you judge others, and ain't nobody perfect. So why would you want to bring that on yourself? And like Pat said, it's already, as a Christian, you already got a bullseye on your back. You know what I'm saying? People are already questioning whether you able to do this anyway. So like you just adding all this other stuff that I think is just detrimental to multiple communities. Not just like politics and music, but also just like people's well-being in terms of like spirituality. Like there's a lot going on in the world, and I feel like he's bringing more static to the conversation than clarity, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll be honest, and Hometown alluded to this a little bit. I think he's like freestyling this. Like it sounds like he just like freestyling this whole political thing. Bro, and at this point, we don't need another entertainer that's going to lead this nation. We don't need another person that's going to freestyle. We don't need this person that's just saying things in an interview that he's going to backtrack on a little bit. Like we just don't need it. Like the adult decision is, hey, Kanye West, sit down. Like, let's just figure it out with Joe Biden and the black woman vice president that he's going to eventually pick. Like, him throwing his ring in this is, as Jordan just said, it's literally contaminating every single facet of everything, in my opinion. And, like, I know I tend to say just, like, very strong things just sometimes just for the point of it, but I don't know. I'm just, as a fan, like a fan that's been a fan for, like, 10 years ongoing, this is probably the most disappointing thing I've ever seen. Like, outside of him wearing a hat, outside of him, like, get on stage.
The slavery was a choice thing.
Outside of all that, it's just so disappointing to see at a time as critical as this, as we just gave you your props for the song that you dropped, as we just gave you props for the brain you just signed, as you were coming back to, like, we were opening our arms, like, okay, Kanye West, wait, we maybe we was wrong. We get it. Like, you gonna come up and be like, I want to run for president, and I'm gonna freestyle the whole campaign. Like, come on, bro. Like,
it's not even
4 months before election.
4 months.
Bro, the stakes are way bigger. Like, literally.
He hadn't even put any papers in to even be a part of the race. So in some places he can't even, like, be voted for.
Yo, and
he had to be voted as an independent.
The crazy thing about that shit is too is, like, his response to that is, we working on it. We gonna see if it's anything we can do because of COVID complications.
Oh my God.
Like,
and my thing is,
like, should we marginalize him? Should you just make music? Like, come on, man.
nah, it's not even about marginalization, bro. It's like Kanye West's superpower is his biggest weakness. They told him he couldn't be Kanye West.
that's what we said. He's never failed. What's
did
the L?
He's never failed, bro. They tried to cancel him like 2 years ago, and he literally became bigger than what he was. Like, they said, all right, you said slavery is a choice. And then from that, he's literally expanded. He has a
apparel.
Super successful apparel company that is American made.
That applied for the small business.
Yeah, like, yeah, and got it.
Oh my God. I think he got like $37 million in aid. Like, bro, this shit's bad.
That's like taking a page out of Donald Trump.
That's a very like, he did what I guess most politicians do, or most business people do, is be like, well, shit, it's money on the table, I'm gonna take it. Even if I don't need it, I just bragged about how my company crossed that Billy, but I'm gonna take it anyway. Apparently, that's the thing. Apparently, Yeezy only has 37 employees.
Yeah.
So you took the million, I think it was like $1 million or so. It was some obscure number, but it's like, bro, like, come on, man. It's people's businesses that have to shut down. You see these videos on Facebook and YouTube and shit, these motherfuckers crying, shutting down their business and being like, this is all I got. And there's always like an old black man barbecue pit. And he's just like, it's all I got, man. It's all I got. It's like, God damn. And then you look at Kanye just like, yo, we just hit a Billy. And then
the Brooks brothers just filed for bankruptcy. And this nigga got a $37 million check.
But I think it goes back to what Pat was saying, is like, because Kanye's never really took a L for real, ever. He's never had really a failure. I remember, I think I mentioned something about Pastel, but even then, like, that's not nothing that wasn't, anything that we would say that altered his success in some form or fashion, he could point to something that can say point at fault. Yeah. He can point at fault to someone else. So it's almost like, even in 2016, I think it was 2016 or 2015, and 2018 when he did the hat and the whole slavery comment thing, right? I felt like his biggest response, like his most common response to like the backlash was, I thought I was gonna get canceled. He kept doing that whole, and I thought I was gonna get canceled. You know what I mean? They ain't canceled me. And it was like the fact that he felt like, oh, I didn't get canceled, it's like it gave him the energy to go forward with more of like what he thinks and what he's saying in regards to anything political. You know what I mean? And I feel like another thing, he didn't take an L for real. So it pushes him to go further. He never took an L in music for real. His apparel, shoes, and all of that. And I feel like he got this Gap situation. It's like it would literally take him to like fail tremendously, which I don't wish anything bad to the brother, but it would take him to fail to kind of humble himself in a sense. He would need to be humble.
It's just our fault.
I mean,
it's not our fault. It's not our fault. It's my thing is ego is internal.
fault.
We've never seen Kanye West without an ego, bro. We never.
He
seen
got to
Kanye
be
West without
humble.
an ego.
He got to be humble. Like he's rich. You know what I mean? He got the wife he wanted. He has a family. He feels fulfilled. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like
we should have been done with him when he said you got a sister-in-law you smashed. I got 4 of them.
yeah, like
Right.
yeah.
Top Dr.
Like,
Amistad, they made I'm a
seen
god.
them? But you seen them sisters? You seen them sisters?
Hey man, well, hey, we got a lot full time on the Kanye West topic. Any final thoughts before we transition to the next topic?
If them was my sister-in-laws, me too.
Me too.
Right. Well, speaking of the Black Lives Matter movement, our next topic we want to talk about activism.
Speaking of that.
I don't know about you guys, but my timeline looks really regular right now, which makes me think, or which I have to beg the question and ask the question to you guys: were a lot of people just caping for the moment, or do they actually give a damn?
My TL still traumatized me every goddamn night I wake up.
Yes, sir. That's why I don't. That's why I try not to get on it. I get on it at like odd times of the day. Like I get on late at night or early in the morning. I am not trying to see niggas die every 30 minutes, bro. I'm straight, bro. Like
it's social media too.
You follow USF St. Pete. You gotta stop following them.
If this is the
hey, shit was regular, boy. 4th of July was regular.
This nigga getting throwback Judy Gunshaft pics.
Let's say this is the closest. Let's say this is, if you could mirror this to like the '60s during the civil rights movement, right? They just didn't have social media. There wasn't no algorithms or nothing like that, or tweets, clicks, and all of that. You know what I mean? To go along with like the cause and issues that they were pushing for. You know what I mean? But it's still like riots and all that stuff going on. Like, and you'll see somebody say, "Why is this not being talked about? This is going on right now." You know, you just had the
They'll have like 50,000 retweets and like 100,000 likes, and it'd be like,
right,
nobody talking about it.
Right, and then you had Revolt just did the Minister Louis Farrakhan thing. You know what I mean?
Yo.
So it's just like the shit is there, but it's social media. At the end of the day, everything's digital, and then with coronavirus, you know what I mean? It gives you the opportunity to either, all right, I'm gonna click on this, or I'm gonna click off. So it's really just like you gotta want to find it. To be honest,
on your time, but inherently that's the problem with like the civil rights movement and the like supporting Black causes is that if you care, you have to go do the research, and it's not readily available. But I'm saying like on your timelines or on your social medias or on everybody's platform, because everybody has a pretty powerful platform. If there's a pie, right? What percentage of the pie is still going forward with Black Lives Matter movements, you know, throwing out resources, talking about protesting and trying to figure out like active and actual ways to change. And then what other percentage is just kind of regular, is coronavirus, everybody's depressed, but let me post a picture of a selfie in my plants and hopefully I get some likes to me.
I have seen a lot of plants. I've seen a lot of plants and a lot of thighs on my Instagram.
Yeah.
A lot of brown thighs and a lot of plants. And
plants and thighs. I love that name for this episode.
Yeah, I want to see. I'm gonna stop talking because I don't know who's gonna watch it.
Well, I'm gonna say.
But percentage-wise, somebody give me a percentage.
I'm gonna say
50% plant, 50% thigh. No, I got. Go ahead.
75% of my of the pie is broken down. It's 25% Black Lives Matter issues, police brutality. Then the other 25% is Black women versus Black men, and then the other 25% is coronavirus, and then the other 25% is regular entertainment. Shit. Yeah, 2K cover issues, NBA coming back, local shit, and then people dropping music and shit like that.
The coronavirus virtually dropped off my shit.
Sorry?
I don't mind.
I think my shit probably been broke up just like theirs, 25, 25, 25. But yeah, a lot of this shit was performative.
Why?
Huh?
Why do you think so?
I mean, as far as like a lot of these businesses and even like a lot of photographers, they don't post black people at all, and then you see them post for black people for a week. Even Band-Aid brand making black Band-Aids, like we just popped up with skin fucking 2 months ago. like my skin been black, you know. You could have been had black Band-Aids, so it's like that shit ain't real, man.
It's not. And the crazy thing is, the sad thing about the Black Lives Matter movement, the digital version of it, it don't translate. The majority of America, to be honest, don't be on social media. Don't be on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of political activism has to be done in real life, which is kind of hard due to the fact that there's a pandemic. But people watching Fox, people watching CNN, they're not covering the lynchings. They're not covering that. So some people don't even know that.
I donated like $50 to the Black Lives Matter organization page, and then I did more research after I saw a video on Twitter, and that shit is literally linked directly to the Democratic Party. So I don't even like that. You know what I mean? Because I'm not automatically a Democrat. Definitely after that Joe Biden comment, like, nah. You know what I mean? So I'm not automatically a Republican. I'm not automatically a fucking Democrat. Both of them got flawed ass sides. You know what I mean? They both have history of and current relevant shit that is detrimental to black people. You know what I mean? So when I saw that, I was like, okay. At first, I just recall back early 2012, Black Lives Matter was a chant. It wasn't an organization yet, and then it became an organization, and then now I see that it is directly linked to the Democratic Party. If you make any type of contribution to it, it goes to whatever their funding goes to the Democratic Party. It has it all linked on their website. So that's weird, and I just feel like I don't know. I don't want to say that they are running game on folk, because it's just one of those things where, of course, black folk vote primarily Democratic, but at the same time,
all this shit is a game. Because what does even the donations go to with the Black Lives Matter? What does it go to?
I think it'll go to their camp. I'm telling you, go to the website. It literally links directly to the Democratic Party, and then if it links to the Democratic Party, I'm pretty sure it's just like campaign money.
That's the thing that they were saying, that like now, because they had this influx of money, that, and I think the Minnesota Freedom Fund, that they, because all these organizations are getting this influx, they get this crazy amount of cash, you know, millions of dollars just within, I guess, the last 120 days. They get all this money, and there's no real like oversight to see what's happening with the money. I don't know if niggas is just not getting bailed out, or if, you know, shit ain't getting taken care of.
Like $29,000 for bail, some shit like that.
Yeah. So it's just like, so where's other money going? Give the money back to these people. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they should necessarily give the money back. I think that, you know, they gotta tell people what they doing with it though. Like, y'all gotta actually like release y'all receipts and let niggas know what the hell going on.
Yeah. Because it's such that you have to do literally.
I want money back, bitch.
I don't know. That J. Cole bar just making way more sense in 2020, man. When you rapped about having it on the app, I should be able to see where my money go, or taxes go, and all that shit. Like, I don't know why this is so hard to do. You have clothing companies that know how to break down certain things on their shopping app better than a lot of these, you know, political sites and organizations. So,
well, I understand that for like governmental things, but like when we talk about like a grassroots movement or just an organization or whatever, they definitely need to be moving toward that. But I don't really expect them to be as like on the cutting edges. The damn government should be
millions and millions of dollars to bail niggas out of jail. Yeah. You only put $29,000 to bail niggas out of jail when it's for fat more than that niggas can get bailed out. Give me my money back. I know what to do with my fucking money.
Well, I mean, yeah. I didn't know it was niggas that still needed to get bailed out and hadn't gotten bailed out.
Yeah. but also too, it's also niggas that can't get bail. You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, it doesn't apply to them, but
yeah.
Oh, $29,000?
That's not a lot of money, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It's some of the money used to like maybe put up the protesters or put up people, you know, like, because essentially some activists, that's their job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
and to be honest,
and they don't need millions of dollars, but That's what I'm saying. It's some of that. Like that's what would help is just visibility. So like you gotta let us know if that's what the shit going to, who it went to for that, blah 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 blah. Because that's the only way you're
nothing
going
to give a monthly report. Just give a monthly report. Hey, this month we did this.
Speaking of monthly reports, to talk about Hometown's comment about it directly going to the DNC. So Black Lives Matter is in an umbrella under something that's called Act Blue Charities. Act Blue is registered as a charitable organization formed to decriminalize charitable giving. So basically, it's like
Isn't that just like another company. GoFundMe though?
Right, but so they do have an expenditure page. So the number one expenditure was for Bernie, 2020.
Yeah,
and that was over $186 million. And the next one was for Biden for president.
Yeah,
the third one was for Elizabeth Warren, Pete, Democratic Congressional Campaign, Amy for America, Friends of Andrew Yang, Democratic Senatorial Campaign, Democratic National Campaign, and Amy McGrath.
And that's for the Black Lives Matter money go?
Yes.
Ain't nothing more with black, bitch.
And that's essentially going to the voting booth and they say vote D all the way down.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Yes and no, because so just because the Black Lives Matter, just because you donate to Black Lives Matter, and then Act Blue has these expenditures for all of the Democratic
it's all
parties.
It's all
that you directly I guess it is.
That's what I'm saying. Is that Act Blue's expenditures or
it's Act Blue's, not Black Lives Matter.
But the funding is when you go to like donate, it connects you to the page that, like, if you read the web address, it's the Act Blue. You go to Black Lives Matter and then you go to
secure.actblue.com.
Exactly.
Right.
So
that's
you know what I mean?
If their intentions are pure and they ain't doing nothing wrong, then they can release the numbers and let everybody know what's going on.
But it's like y'all, these niggas knew they was gonna drop out this race. Andrew Yang, Elizabeth Warren, they knew they weren't gonna make it. You know what I mean? At some point, but they still accepted this money, so that shit is all a sham. Like I want to see what his campaign money went. You know what I mean? Like, nah, that shit bullshit, bro.
But I think though, because
and Yang was giving out $1,000.
Yeah, it's like.
But Act Blue also gets money from other people, so it's not just Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, right. So that's fine. It's just that the Black Lives Matter shit, I don't feel like it should have a direct of like
funnel.
Yeah, with the Democratic Party, like, you know what I mean? It should be separate.
I guess to push back on that isn't that what I guess who Roland Martin for sure. It's somebody else very specific. I can't think of them. But when they talk about PACs basically and super PACs, isn't that basically what we need to secure? I guess shit for the future to secure like political action.
What's a super PAC?
A political action group or something like that. Like it's a political action coalition, and basically, PAC can't donate to like a PAC can't donate to a candidate specifically, but a super PAC can donate to a specific candidate. And it's like a certain threshold of money, I think that it is, or something like that, or like a company or something like that. I can't remember the exact details of it, but basically it's just y'all motherfuckers get together, pull y'all money together, and put y'all money all towards this one person, and be like, if we give you this money, we expect police reform.
It's lobbying.
Exactly, it's lobbying.
Right. And I feel like that is effective when you have a stake on both sides. If it's just for one side, and then that political side does not obtain the presidential seat, then like what is it for then? You know what I mean? Like what is it? It's just to start the next 4 years to promote the next nigga? It's like nah. It's like I just don't like the fact that like Killer Mike mentioned. I don't want to say I am pro everything for Killer Mike's opinions and what he says, but he's one of those people that he's like, hey, some of the shit that they speaking on this Republican side, I agree because I'm an American and I know and I am trying to build wealth for my family and my people. Some of the things that they talking about, I listen to and it makes sense. but I for sure understand a lot of the shit that they're doing on the Democratic side too. So it's like you kind of want to need both, which is why I don't like the fact that it's directly connected just to the Democratic Party. You know what I mean? It should
Yeah.
just be its own entity, and then whoever is there, if you want whatever the fucking millions of dollars that we're going to get based on, you know, all of these groups and companies and entities that donate, if you want this power that we have to help with voting and all of that, then you're gonna have to go through the demands and some of the things that we're pushing for. And if it's police reform, whichever side, red or blue, they gonna have to make sure if they want this money, if they want this backing from us, they got to make sure that they fall in line. It shouldn't just be the Democratic Party. That's why I don't like that shit. And I was like, man, you know what? I can see why if you do all of that shit to get all the shit we doing to convince people to like, hey, support this, Black Lives Matter, and you get some people, black, white, whoever the fuck, that say they're gonna take the time out their day to kind of just, you know, take a little more time to look into it, and they say, man, you know, I don't really too much like this Joe Biden guy, but if I donate to this is going directly to help him. You know what I mean? It's not that it's not that I'm going for Trump. It's just that I really don't like the Joe Biden guy, but I know if I donate money to this Black Lives Matter organization, this is kind of helping him. And now you debunk whatever the fuck kind of help or funding you want from people. So it's we're fucked. At the end of the day, I just feel like
no, Derek, I think you have a lot of great points, but I also think like if we use kind of what's happening in real time, I don't know if Act Blue charity group or the Black Lives Matter movement could donate to Donald Trump, because do we want black dollars going to Donald Trump? I think it's an election year, and I think the money is going to the Democratic Party or the representative saying, hey, we're lobbying right now. Things are happening right now. We want you to be elected. We'll give you the money that you get elected, hoping that your vice president and yourself are going to represent demands that we're requesting.
Why can't we can't we be like Nike? Why can't we be like Nike, who makes sure that they covered on both sides? Why can't we make sure that?
Well, I just think also too, like, how does that look on paper? Look how as an organization.
If it's on paper is we giving the money and we pushing our people of black people to whoever side is going to do for black people. You know what I mean? We black.
How would you? But why would you donate to a man that has already said that he don't care about black people? That's my point right now.
That's true. So okay, so right now November gets here, and let's say Donald Trump wins. So what does Black Lives Matter do then? We just continue to promote for the next 4 years for the next nigga on the blue side, or do we say, okay, hey, look, we still got governors that's Republican, we still got mayors, we still got all these other elections that occur before the 4-year mark that the Black Lives Matter could still promote. It ain't just the top two that these dollars are going to. You know what I mean?
It's tough though. It's tough because political interest in terms of retail and importation and exportation, like in terms of like Nike, is different from morality. Like, I feel like people donate to democratic institutions due to like morality, due to like, because I believe truly that a lot of African Americans are conservative in terms of mindset, but morality wise, they don't really like, in our eyes, they don't like minority, you know what I'm saying, citizens. So it's kind of hard to split your funds when the interests aren't so cut and dry.
That's true. It's just that everything's transactional at the end of the day. Even this whole police and prison, private prisons, that's all transactional. You know how many businesses like Nike, furniture companies and whatnot is milking labor from privately owned prisons where these guys work for maybe 5-10 cents a day. So all this is transactional, and all this money is being circulated with a lot of these people who are behind the scenes, that's not really at the podiums talking, that have ownership and have stake in the financial transactions behind the privately owned prisons that are connected with the whole police force and systems, state to state. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, that's the stuff that people don't really know about, that takes a lot of fucking time to research, that by the time you do research it, don't nobody want to hear what the hell you got to say, because when you talking, it just sounds like mumbo jumbo. And we just push those people to the side that pop up on CNN and whatnot. You know what I mean? But that shit is a very, very complex system. It's so complex that by the time you get to the point to realize what the shit really does, you're gonna lose those who on the ground like us that really don't understand the complexities of it, and then you start sounding like somebody that we probably can't fucking trust, or we like, I don't know. We usually go with whatever feels good or sounds good. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like Obama sounded good to us, felt good to us to do. You know what I mean? It was my first time to vote, so it was just like I didn't really vote off knowledge. I voted off what I felt was the right thing to do based on my surroundings. Oh, it's a black man. It's my first time to vote. I'm with my mom at the public library about to vote. I see the lady from my church. She giving me a little pamphlet. Vote blue all the way down. Obama. You know what I mean? I didn't educate myself on none of that shit. You know?
Yeah.
And because of that, I didn't care or hold Obama to any type of standard. And I'm not here to, and it's not a moment to thrash on fucking Obama, nothing like that. But it's just like, all this shit is transactional at the end of the day. All this shit is transactional, no matter what it is. And everything has morality behind it. But everything is transactional, from police reform to fucking foreign policies, all that stuff. And it's just like, black people, you know, we have our issues in America. You know what I mean? From business owners to laws, to education, to health. You know what I mean? To residential living expenses, owning a home, and all of that shit. All this shit is transactional, and black people have a huge voice in that. And because we don't really have any legs to stand on our own, we leaning on the Democrats to just be like, all right, well, we finna ride with y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, like, because with Nike, they donate to both sides because they know it's either red or blue. One of these niggas gonna win. So
and they have the money to do it too. It's not limited funds. Like, you have to think, like, this the money that the movement is getting compared to corporations like Nike, it's a drop in the ocean. Like, Nike literally has unlimited funds, so they can split their money at the casino table.
Right.
Black Lives Matter, compared to all the other big lobbyists, is just a nigga that came with 20. When me and Tyree used to go to the casino, and we had $25, and we said, we're gonna play 4 games, $5 hand, we're gonna make sure it counts. That's what it is. So
how much money has Black Lives Matter? How much did he raise?
I have no idea the exact number, but Black Lives Matter represents every black person, right?
Yeah.
So for every black person, our strength isn't in the ownership and capital that we have. Our strength is in the money that we spend. We're the biggest spenders in the country, spending $1 trillion a year. You know what I mean? So that's where our strength is. So because of that, that's why all these companies are performing this whole, hey man, we with y'all, because we know we need them dollars. So we play on our strengths. If we know our strength is, hey, we spend this money here, you know what I mean? Well, you're gonna have to do something for us, because now we know how our money affects businesses. Y'all need to do something for us now, because we are not gonna spend this money this way, and we'll spend it another way. Whoever's gonna help out. And at this point, everyone's, as we see, every video game company, every clothing company, food company, everybody is showing themselves like, hey, we need them dollars. So Black Lives Matter, we'll pause this shit for 3 hours to let you know we with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we know your strength is spending that money.
I agree with you, bro. I'm just saying, like, in terms of not even the amount, because like John brought up the amount of money being a drop in the bucket compared to Nike. I was saying when they split their money 50-50, I'm like, how does that work for their cause? You get what I'm saying? Like, how does? That's why I can't. I myself can't really figure it out.
I feel like we shouldn't have to spend until we get what we want. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, what happens if Black Lives Matter holds out until our requests get met? Then we can pay out whatever we got. Like, we shouldn't have. You shouldn't have to put money into a hope and a wish.
But that's the only thing with politics. You kind of got to, because these people they got to run ads basically.
But
we don't even know the main organizers of Black Lives Matter. They're listed on the website, but we don't see them.
According to Jesse Lee Peterson, they are fat lesbians.
I mean, that's funny. I'm glad they're not listed. I mean, I was having this conversation with my friend from the Philippines, and he was asking me, like,
we get it, John.
What?
You've been all over.
No, they listed. They're listed. They're on the website.
No, but they're known. So they were saying that, they didn't really understand the movement because there's no figurehead to the movement. So for them, from their perspective, it just feels like a whole bunch of hearsay. It doesn't feel like an actual movement. And
Right.
and it took me a second to kind of digest what they meant by that. But to be honest, I prefer it that way. Like, they killed Malcolm, they killed Martin, they kill every person that stands on the ledge and tries to be the leader of it.
They kill everybody in Ferguson though. They will find your ass and kill your ass.
Yeah, they're finding you through facing it. They got cameras all over. They got satellite and all that shit. My thing is, our biggest thing is we don't be knowing shit. We don't be knowing shit. Like we don't know who a lot of our officials are in our county, in our state, and whatnot. And that trickles down to when we got these movements going down. We don't know who's running these movements, and we don't know these people. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's good intentions. You know what I mean? But still bad execution. At the end of the day, that's how I feel. And I'm not sitting here saying that I'm a prime example of someone that's changing that, but I'm definitely somebody that sits back and think and observe. You know what I mean? And I'll do my due diligence to kind of look into something that I find interesting, or that that catches my interest or whatever. But as a whole, like I had the bread to go and be like, all right, I'm gonna go donate this because everybody feels something. As Black people, you feel like, damn, man, this George Floyd shit is fucking with me. I'm gonna donate to this. I'm gonna donate to that. I'm gonna donate to that. But a lot of times we donating not just based off knowledgeable acts, but just off of what feels right to do. And
But that's
to be
a donation,
honest,
though.
I feel like they know that though. So I feel like if we gotta switch it up, we gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, we gotta switch it up. Everything a donation, like everything's transactional. Donation.
What I mean by switch it up, like so when you get
feeling, not donating to these
research.
We all donate to me.
Any party.
We all donate to me when I'm trying to build my garden.
I know you, nigga.
I'm saying I'm trying to build a community garden. You gonna donate to me?
Oh, you want to be a plant based? That's what you trying to be?
No, I'm saying I'm donating a community garden. Everybody come in, get your strawberries, get your peaches, get your pears. Black owned. You gonna donate to me?
Yeah. I want a section. I want a section in the garden.
Yeah. I want ownership.
I want a section. I want to grow watermelon.
What you say? Crackers gonna crack, bitch. I want to be a blacker. Blacker gonna black. Help me out.
Black is gonna black.
He said, "Help me out."
You hold that down, man. But hey, man, I don't know how to segue out of that because hometown was really his bag. But the next topic is music.
I get out.
I mean, what was the other 25% of the things? Because we gotta cover this the pivot from police brutality and like white oppression, and then it got flipped into, because it was coronavirus too, but that was the first domino.
Yeah.
And then it spiraled into police brutality, and then it went to black on black violence through black man and black women and black trans and
black women versus black men, black cis versus black trans and queer. You know what I mean? And then black capitalists versus black poor.
I mean, hey, I'm gonna let y'all speak on that. I don't have no comment.
You ain't got no comment.
Also, too, on social media,
bro.
Donations.
Oh boy, you better come up with one. You better get that.
brothers. That wasn't on the topic list.
Oh, it's like
what were you saying, John? I mean, Jordan.
Oh no, I was saying one thing too, like recent events, like the young man dying in DC and the young girl being shot in Atlanta. Like,
and you got Toyin and tell that.
People really gotta educate themselves on this whole black on black crime thing, man. It's just sad to see how quick it is for things to get muffled just because people don't understand like propaganda, like, and how effective it is. Like, for people to really be on this black on black crime wave, right? Like on the heels of this Black Lives Matter thing, it's kind of like, wow.
Cruises of the world.
But
like people gotta realize that's not like a thing. Like,
does that apply to black women and black queer and black LGBT folk? Talking about black women.
I mean, all of us probably it's white trans people getting murdered too. I'm not saying Okay, let me get my words
That's
straight.
all it is. So it's
Hey, brother, take your time, brother.
To finish my first thought.
yeah.
People need to realize that people kill in their community.
Proximity.
So if everybody on this Zoom call, if we live next to each other, and one of us gets mad and we shoot one person, like that's not black. That's just crime, bro.
It's crime.
Right.
Okay.
It's just crime. And people keep pushing this narrative of how we expect the police to stop killing us if we keep killing us.
That's a
It's a very lazy argument.
that's a historical argument though. That always gets thrown out.
But
And then
this is why it should be debunked. This is why it should be debunked. It's because the police, that is a job. That is a business, right? That is a business that is funded through tax dollars, right? A business, we're basically saying that we're comparing civilians killing civilians versus civilians being killed by a business or an organization. That has to be there, right? We're saying, hey, business organization, can y'all just stop killing us? We're gonna deal with the civilian shit because that's just normal. That's all around the world. That's all around the world. Violence is all around the world, right? Civilians gonna rob each other, kill each other, fucking, you know what I mean? Gonna do whatever they do, right? But we just don't want businesses, entities, and organizations to be able to kill us. That's all we fucking saying.
For non-violent crimes.
But we
could crimes in general, but especially non-violent.
We can do it both though. We can do it both though, right? Like we got the capacity to do. We can do it both. It's enough of us that have a laser-like focus on violence within our own community, and then there's enough of us that are out there protesting police brutality.
Absolutely,
to be able to tackle both.
But nobody's perfect at the end of the day.
No, I mean I understand that.
Like the ones that's fighting for against the police shit, maybe some of them got records, and that's okay for them to have a record. You know what I mean? Some of the people that's sitting down and being told about themselves or having a conversation may have at once been on a suspect and been a part of the problem. You know what I mean? But as a black community, it's probably more often than any other community because I feel like things have been in place where we wasn't even counted as humans.
Right.
So, and I think one of the things that it's the 2016 election, Russia interference type of deal, right? Like Russia targeted, they targeted racial division. Like that's one of the things that they like hit to try to, impose their will for the election. They hit they hit racial tensions in America. Now, had America fixed the race issue that, let's say, we've been coming at them, black people have been bringing to America's doorstep since forever. We've been bringing it to their doorstep, and they haven't addressed it. They haven't fixed it. Everything that they've done has been minimal and at best lip service, right? So, had they have fixed that issue, the Russians, what would the Russians attack? What would the Russians have to go on? So then with the black on black thing, right? It's not saying that if we fixed it, they wouldn't have shit to say, but for sure there's work to be done. And let's say that's another thing where it's like, and it's not even like black on black as far as gang violence. My thing more so is the black women versus black men and black men and black men. The gun violence shit, of course, we all know that shit is just like, all right, that's crime. And crime is a measure of lack of opportunity, lack of education. Like we all know what that is.
Anger.
What is and of course this is also a part of it. But what is the black women and black men and black and misogyny? What?
Right. That's a gender power. That's a gender power structure that's put in place. You know what I mean? Because if you what they say is measured if you do the 4 with just black and white folk, right? The system goes, and the first spot is white men, second spot is white women, third spot is black men, fourth spot is black women, which is why black women state that they have the least amount of privilege, the most underprivileged out of all 4, right? However, the system, let's say if the system is built by white men, it's built by white men to benefit white men. Unfortunately, us being men, we benefit slightly from some of the things that the system has been designed for because we're men, which in turn, puts us in a tough situation because our sisters are now, they see how we're getting that, but it's hard for us to see that because now we're still dealing with the other things that, because we're black, we're still dealing with the whole shit. Like, hey man, these two motherfuckers on top have way more privilege than us, and they're oppressing us because we're black. And black women like, yeah, but y'all kind of get a little bit because y'all niggas, y'all men, you know what I mean? And y'all fucking with us, you know what I mean? So it's a power struggle when it comes to gender, but that's another fight. That's another fight.
That's what King and Barris named every episode because of slavery, right? Like that's everything that we dealing with. You can point back to some shit like you can point back to, let's say, hell, fatherlessness in the black community, or like people, having to grow up in single parent households. That's something that you can directly link to a white
slavery.
Like you can directly link that to some shit white people put in place.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that Republicans and conservatives harp on is the rebuilding of the black family. Now, where they might get it wrong is by like being so extra and making sure that it's like, we're not two men, no, not two women, and getting caught in that bushes. But essentially, the family unit was broken apart. Now, we know who broke the family unit apart, but at the same time, I don't know if it's, what's the benefit of being like, no, sister, white people did this to us. You know what I'm saying? Like
it ain't.
It's no.
It's like,
I mean, but that goes back to the whole black on black crime thing. Like, it's an education, it's a certain knowledge that needs to be had, bro. Like, and project homes, you can't have a man in the house.
Yeah,
so
it's like Section 8 and shit
Section
like
8, Section
8.
Yeah,
but I mean, in West Temple, that's where I grew up. A lot of people was on that. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it was like whole neighborhoods, and it's like people grow up. You gotta think it's generations and generations. People grow up that way, so they think it's normal.
It made me think about that Kendrick line on Damn on Fear, and he was like rapping as if he was speaking like his mom, and she was like, "I'll beat your ass if you tell him your daddy live here." You know what I mean? It's like we grow up. So not everybody, but there's a large population of children who grow up knowing certain struggles that are real accustomed to with our parents. Like, I grew up with my mom floating checks with her and my grandma. Girl, don't cash that till Wednesday. You know what I mean? Or like, I'm pretty sure at one point all of us may have, a good portion of us in this chat have probably done a paycheck advance. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a coincidence that most of these, you'll probably see more paycheck advances before you see any other like
financial institution.
Financial institution.
Oh, you see a black bank, you'll see 30 of them.
In a black community. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna see T-Mobile, paycheck advance,
they got the Western Union in the Amscot.
You know what I mean? So it's like this shit. It's not this shit not just by accident, bro. Like, this complex ass shit has been here for a minute.
It's systematic, and I feel like sadly
that's how the police was made.
Yeah, sadly, people don't know. Like,
I guess
they
the
don't.
thing is,
but doesn't the responsibility fall on us
to protect black women? Because they're like, hey, we got this, like, we got so and so in our own backyard that just got arrested. That's over here fucking with young girls. You know what I mean?
Ultimately, if America has shown who they are, doesn't the responsibility fall on us?
So that's what I'm saying. Like now it's like, okay, what can we do to improve this relationship? And not saying the relationship with white people, we know that's, I'm not concerned with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't expect them to change. I don't expect them to do nothing different. I expect the government to govern fairly and equally, but that's a fight that's gonna take a little bit longer than the fight that I'm gonna have with, the girls, that I gotta deal with on a daily basis, or the gay folk that we gotta deal with on a regular basis, or the trans people that now we gotta deal with on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all this shit here, and it's at the doorstep. So it's like, whether it's like because it's all valid, but whether it's like we can all point at a thing that did it, that made it like that, we can all point at that, and everybody knows that it's there. But since there isn't necessarily anything that we can do about that right now, what can we do about how we deal with each other?
I tweeted something like that the other day, but I deleted it because I didn't want to get in trouble. It was like, not to blame back when, but like everybody isn't evil or bad or like grew up innately with the same rhetoric. Because a lot of these motherfuckers, they call trash and shit. So like, if
Yeah.
we ask for help, it's like I really feel like I might have been doing wrong, and I'm really asking for help because I don't know what to do to better the situation.
It's a truth and reconciliation shit.
But when you say they ain't my fucking job to teach you, it's like, well, I don't know what to do but to continue living my fucking.
And that's the problem, Tyreek.
Yeah.
People, it's not even just black women though. It's people. It's people in general. People are self-centered. They don't want to share the knowledge. Like Kanye West, how are you doing your taxes? You know what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z, how did you get to $1 billion? Niggas not saying nothing. Like they're not telling people how to do anything, and they saying, "My brother, you could do it too." Like, what does that mean? Like, that don't mean nothing. Like,
so this do y'all know about the Saya dude? He sells shoes, black owned dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so I bought a couple pair of shoes from him just to support. But I got on his live, and people were just like asking because he said he made $1.1 million in a month. So everybody like, okay, like give us pointers how you do this and this, because he do like donate money to small businesses if you're black owned. But people want knowledge. People want to know how you got here. You making $1.1 million in a month. Everybody like, hey, how you got here? So people asking that in the live, and he was just like, I can't drop that knowledge for y'all. Y'all got to do the same thing I did, Google. And I'm like, bruh, I can't support you no more if you're not helping people out. You know what I'm saying?
But it's everything.
At the end of the day, if somebody gets you for like a seminar and stuff like that, like you go to a college and teach, you basically dropping knowledge for them. Like you like, hey, I got this and this and that. Don't do this way. I learned the hard way. Do it this way. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
but I think that goes back to, I think once again, like Pat mentioned, you can trace that shit back to slavery, because I don't think in the spirit of black folk that all the things that we do that come from our homeland, that to me, that's the spirit of competition. That's like, I can't one up you. I can't let you one up me. You know what I mean? We've always heard in rap, you know, the game is to be sold, not told. Like, you know what I mean? That's literally a bar that holds us back. You know what I mean? Like, it's certain things like when Kodak was talking about Master P, he was like, man, I used to look up to Master P, but then he gonna charge me for some information he's trying to give me. Like, man, I can't do that. You know what I mean? And Master P was like, you know what I mean? I put all this work in, this, that, and the third. You know, you supposed to pay your dues. It's like, that's the type of shit that rubs people the wrong way. And even though that person who may be charging for that information may have a legit reason why, at the same time, it's because they have this capitalist mindset that's been embedded in us since the beginning of time in America. You know what I mean? It's a competition at the end of the day. I think that's our biggest flaw, because of competition, it breeds hate, it breeds jealousy, which brings about other shit, like brings about, you know, crime and all that shit. You know what I mean? It's competition in everything black folk do. In art, entertainment, everything. You know what I mean? And then that's definitely with black men, and it's even worse with black women. We just, over the past few years, we just got over the whole hump of it can now be more than just like one or two black female rappers that can have a light. You know what I mean? Like, we're now having a resurgence of black
Nikki
women.
went down swinging with that one too. She went down
because
for her spot.
Exactly. You know what I mean? But it's just like she has it ingrained in her mind. She had it ingrained in her mind too. It's like, nah. You know what I mean? But now she'll show love. She'll get on IG Live with somebody. You know what I mean? But it's like we have that competition so embedded in us, and we don't realize how evil and wicked that shit is. You know what I mean? But it's the whole competition factor. So it's like,
you gotta spread knowledge, bro.
Yeah, competition is good when y'all aren't at each other's throats and like withholding information. When y'all be in competition and the information is freely given, and we just saying who has the best idea and what we can do with the information, then that's good competition. But when it's competition based off of, you know what, I'm not telling you a fuck thing. Like,
no, not for real.
That's
for real.
That's how we all take L's, because then it's like, okay, so now you're gonna be you really want to be what's the Wiz Khalifa album, Only Nigga in First Class? Like, that's not cool. You should feel very uncomfortable. Like,
right.
Yeah, bro. It's like it's my thing is you could, like you said, you can be competitive in ideas, but not technicality. For Sia or Saya dude, it's easy for him to be like, bro, I looked up these things, I learned how to do these things. That's not showing a nigga how to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Because nigga don't have your brain. A nigga don't have your brain, so a nigga not gonna be able to do what you are able to do with the information.
Yeah, bro.
And the crazy thing is, most wealthy people will tell you the most money they've ever made out of all their wealth is from teaching. You know what I mean? It's always from teaching. They'll know how to do this, they'll know how to do that. But then once they find a way to teach you, they make more money teaching you and putting people on as opposed to trying to sell them. You know what I mean?
Rich Dad Poor Dad, the author of that.
And it's like, and a lot of those things have some inaccuracies or some things that come from a certain mindset that may be a bit negative, at least in America, you know what I mean? But it's at the end of the day, that whole, simply put, is love at the end of the day. Having love for one another and compassion for one another should be able to be like, you know what, I shouldn't fear this person because this person, you know, appears to be better or threatening to me. You know what I mean?
Tom should have enough love and compassion for me to give me a free beard course.
Thank you.
Y'all niggas
Me
don't
too,
love
bitch.
Y'all niggas preach of love, but y'all don't love me. That's crazy. Tyree, you gonna donate to my garden?
That nigga looks sick.
Garden, man.
You say what?
He said, "Fuck your garden."
man.
See? See? You talking about love. Anyway.
But at the end of the day, that's honestly what it's gonna take. Like, it honestly takes, LeBron knows he's the best player in the NBA, right? But it take him to realize, like, yo, I'm gonna help somebody I think that's great. I want them to help me at the same time, but I'm also gonna help everyone. Even though it's Rich Paul that's really the main face in front of his agency, but it's LeBron's too. You know what I mean? And he's doing whatever he can to help put athletes on. You know what I mean? And it's like, you need more of that at the top, not just the niggas at the bottom that's like, all right, I'm gonna help push you up, but I'm gonna need you to help push me. Like, no, the niggas that's at the top got to do that. Nipsey Hussle was another person that did that. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't like this guy, but Dame Dash is another person. Dame Dash is notoriously known for putting motherfuckers on. I want to say 80% of Rockefeller artists at the time were all pushed primarily by Dame. It wasn't necessarily Jay-Z behind the guys like, yo, I'm pushing this guy, da, 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 da. You know, it's Dame that's giving these guys the game, showing Cam how to make his money and have a sustainable career, even if he ain't hot no more. You know what I mean? Like, it's having these people that's at the top that's gonna have the love and compassion for just their own mankind, black people, to be like, hey, I'm gonna show you how to do this. I'm not gonna do this for you. I'm gonna just show you how to do this. You know what I mean? But then you got, like you said, the dude, CEO or Saya or whatever, that's like, nah, I can't drop that. It's like, bro, then what you on live for? Just to flex?
Exactly.
Like,
That's
It's
literally,
ego.
that's the
It's
crazy
the
thing.
flex.
That's literally all he was doing. He was showing off new shoes that he was releasing, letting people know, like.
Who you say? Who did this?
Saya. Saya Collective.
Okay.
Hey, Tyree about to go get him.
You want to put some money on his head. Who did this to you?
But you won't donate to a
Melee,
garden. That's fucking crazy.
Tyree
hey, ever
Neeson.
since I said Melee, this nigga been coming for me, bitch.
Leah attack. What did you say, nigga?
A Malik.
Hey, what we got? What we got next, bro?
Hey, bro. Hey, Thomas, I don't see no shoes on here, bro. I think you lying. You made up this whole story.
What we got?
Oh, the nigga Delvin Carter?
You ain't gonna make a lie, Thomas. You gonna make a lie. Hey, what we got next?
Oh,
Dropped it.
yeah,
I dropped it in the Instagram group chat.
thank you.
Multiple group chats going on here.
Very powerful stuff, y'all niggas, man. I really appreciate it. We're gonna cut this up and post it as a separate clip, man. Y'all niggas really got in y'all bag. But let's go to music. This is why we all came here. There's been a lot of music that's dropped. Well, not a lot of music. Got to go now. Hold on. Cut. All right. There's been a lot of music that's dropped recently. I haven't listened to anything because I've been in the depression. So I'm gonna let Derek carry this conversation because this nigga is growing braids. So go ahead, Derek, take us away.
I'm gonna be honest. I just been sticking to the artists that I've been listening to, kind of like early this year. I've been listening to music differently, like almost every year. Like, I don't listen to music the same way like I used to. So I kind of like try to stick with the artists and just listen to them. But of course, you can't ignore like the stuff that's just like popular commentary. You know, like the Pop Smoke situation with his album.
How'd you feel about Pop Smoke? Because I heard your Beats and Chill podcast. Y'all check that out. Episode 11, right?
Yeah.
I know y'all covered it, but what's your thoughts on it?
Overall, I think it's weird. It's always weird just talking about a posthumous album, but I'm glad that whoever it. Did I say it wrong?
You good, man.
I said it wrong.
Keep it wrong.
Jordan.
Keep rocking, bro. You good, bro. You good, bro.
I don't know. I would say Prometheus. I would say Prometheus album.
Success and triumph.
Prometheus. Come on,
I
now.
don't know. So.
First of all, rest in peace to Pop Smoke.
To the woo.
But I think that those who were working with him, working on this whole new energy with Pop Smoke, I feel like they needed to see that come out. You know what I mean? And those who were just like really, really riding for that needed to see that come out. So I think it's good that they came out. As far as like judging the album and all of that, people saying, man, he probably wouldn't have wanted these features. He wouldn't have wanted King Combs on the album and all of that. And I was like, I don't know if he would have wanted that.
I didn't realize King Combs was on the album till today because I haven't heard it. So when I saw that King Combs on that shit, I was like, what the heck?
Hey, it's okay. You can't tell a dead nigga his album sucks, but I thought it was really weird.
Wait. What?
I'm joking, man. I thought it was really weird because like the intro, huh?
You dead serious.
No, I was joking. I like the album.
Don't listen.
It was hard for me to listen to because the intro was. What'd you say?
No, go ahead, bro.
Take me with you.
No, the intro was weird because it was like him talking about shooting people and stuff. And
yeah, it was difficult to listen. It was difficult to listen when you say I got it on me and all that shit. It's like, man, you know, it's weird. It's almost like it's like I don't want to compare it to that, but it's weird listening to that and knowing how he passed away.
It's torture porn.
No,
I don't know if it's torture porn. It's just like, yeah, you rapping about how you got it on you, this, that, and the third, but you died because someone had it on them. So it's kind of weird.
It's almost poetic in a sense. Is that? But that's how you go when you in that life though. Like ain't that what they say? I don't know.
The only nigga who ain't never died like that was 50 Cent, bro. He the only nigga I know that has rapped about stuff like that hasn't passed.
He was smart.
Nah. About shooting. YG, fucking Lil Wayne.
Yeah, but them niggas don't shoot people for real. I mean, like 50 Cent was a real gangster.
I mean, he rapped about it, just like all them other niggas.
But I'm saying, like, I'm bad. Let me rephrase.
Ain't no real gangster gonna make a movie about their life shooting people. 50 Cent ain't no real fucking gangster, bitch.
Hey, man. I don't know nothing about that. All I know is the album.
I like this. I like this style. I like this one.
The album was straight.
This rich style, Rick.
The album was straight. It had a 3-song run that was like R&B style that I didn't too much care for.
Oh,
but
really?
Other than that, it was almost like he took the Tory Lanez approach on those 3 songs. Like he just kind of sampled some old R&B, early 2000 R&B records, and just kind of did he was like kind of singing on it a little bit.
But I don't think those are supposed to be on the album though. In his defense,
probably not. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's
it's
hard to judge it because I'm pretty sure people saying like, oh, he probably would have made certain changes that wouldn't have been on there. So it's like, well, I mean, that's all up in there. I'll be happy proud of it. You know what I mean?
I have a hot take though. To be honest, I didn't like the album, and it has nothing to do with Pop Smoke. I didn't like the album because it took they took the authenticity right up out of it, bro. Like, that's not how he wanted. I don't think that's how the album would have sounded if he wasn't dead. Like, why would you take Burna Boy off? Why would you take
Fivio?
Yeah, why would you take? They saying deluxe, all that stuff, but what they did was they tried to make this super, like, industry album.
And they made it streamable.
You said what?
They made it streamable. It was a very streamable album.
Yeah, and I don't think that's why we liked him, because I listened to Pop Smoke early on, and the grit that was in his music, I feel like it wasn't really there. Like the songs are dope. The album sonically is fine. I just don't like, in terms of like the background of it, like they really ripped off the authenticity of it. Like Karol G, like did they even meet? Like probably not. There's videos of him listening to the Burna Boy version and loving it. There was also I want to say Cali boy from Chicago. He was on a song with King Combs. They kept his ad libs and took his verse off. And he got on Twitter and he was like, not to take away from the album, but like me and Pop Smoke had already planned on shooting a video to this song and then he died. So for y'all to take me off the album is kind of like messed up because that was like my actual homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that made me think though. That made me think like at the end of the day, this album is being released under a label, and that label is going to have multiple pieces, certain people that still have a job to do and certain goals to reach. And when things like a person passing away comes into the play, they still have to, all right, how can we still reach these goals with this situation? You know what I mean? They still have certain goals to meet. So I feel like even that's an ugly part of the business.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's hard to have a strong opinion towards it. You know what I mean? Because it's
I
like
don't
now
have a super strong opinion, but it's just like the fact that they didn't even make the album concise. Like we're gonna put every song we got from this nigga on out. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was kind of weird. And then we're gonna release the deluxe edition. Like, bro, like
Not enough songs.
Why don't you space them out? Why don't you have 2 albums? Like, you know what I mean? Like you have the privilege of having this many records.
That it is still a business. Like once somebody die, sometimes business like we still gotta recoup our money.
You gotta recoup your funds.
We gotta get this advance back. And if we gotta finagle this album, switch it up and make it sell better, that's what we gotta do.
Yeah.
I thought Travis would have probably been in the album. But I mean, they only got like one song together anyway, but I at least thought he'd at least be in like a feature.
They definitely had Quavo on there. And I could tell, bro, you could tell that was like 1 or 2 sessions, bro. Like, you could tell.
But, on there, though, to be honest, that snitching song?
No, they're not bad songs, but like, we make music. You know how it works. Like, you're not gonna put every song on the album. Like, they literally put every song on the album. It was like, whoa, bro. Like,
how y'all feel about
was gonna make it.
How y'all feel about the whole Pusha T verse and that whole thing with him dissing, or I guess supposed to be dissing Drake, and then Young Thug responding about like how he didn't respect that. Like, how y'all feel about that?
So like,
I think that's them days.
What you said, Tyree?
Said that shit was 7 days.
That shit was weird.
If you didn't know, that's what he did on the video. If you didn't know.
I think that's corny to attack Pusha T, bro. When like your mans did that to Meek, like he did it with Meek. Let him go on his victory lap, bro. Like it is what it is.
It's just a strange thing because it's like you ain't really have to come out and say anything, but I guess you wanted to make it known that you wasn't with that. But then it's just like I don't know, bro. It all seemed kind of performative on one end, and then on the other end, it's like, is it serious? Like how serious is it supposed to go? Like, where you say, like when you do the other response, and it's like, oh, we kill niggas. Like, how does it go from niggas rapping to we kill niggas?
I mean,
I honestly think it was more of a marketing thing. I think it was more of a marketing thing. I think if you figure if
we don't know how old the song is though either though.
Well, I'm just saying, if consumers figure out that Pusha T is dissing Pop Smoke, Pop Smoke was signed to Steven Victor, who is a friend, immediate affiliate of Pusha T. So if people found out that Pusha T was dissing Drake on a Pop Smoke album, they'd go listen to Pop Smoke album, thus making it a bigger stream, bigger debut first week, then Steven Victor gets paid, then Pusha T gets paid. Like, I think it was just a marketing technique more than anything.
But that's what Young Thug was saying. He was just like, you trying to use this moment to fan your flames or whatever, because nobody taking for your shit. But that's like a not.
And that's why I say that's an ugly side and nature of like business with pushing, like figuring out how to, like, you know what I mean, with that album. I feel like that shit wasn't no. I feel like if Young Thug didn't know, I feel like maybe others who were working on that record knew. You know what I mean? It ain't like a nigga just record something and then you mix it and you didn't hear what the fuck the nigga said. You know what I mean?
Especially if it's leaked. Like it's not like the shit dropped and like it was like, oh well, we recorded it and we dropped it that night. Like they done had this record because it was like the shit was circulated at least the shit circulated before the album dropped, right? So it's like
I don't know.
They did that shit to help listeners.
That's what I'm saying. Like the verse was out, so it's not like it's kind of weird to be like, oh well. I mean, he might not have known, but to me, it's just weird how that works. Like people, we need to bring back motherfuckers being in the same room together, like motherfuckers being in the studio together. You know what I'm saying? Because in that moment, real time, Young Thug can say, I don't want to be on this song no more. I'm good.
The thing is,
I'll sit this one out.
Yeah, the thing is, he was the last one to be on it. So,
and which Pusha T said he requested Thug to be on there,
which means that the song was sent to him with the verse on it. And if Young Thug didn't think, oh, this is about Drake, then why would you like? I don't. It's weird to be like, man, this nigga didn't even tell me he was writing verses about Drake. Nigga, you heard the song.
I think Drake found out, bro. You know,
I'm sure. That's what he said.
Drake found out, bro.
He said that apparently he alluded to like Drake, you know, making a call to like take that, like not put that out. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure that probably wouldn't have been the first time that may have happened.
They said it happened with the Rick Ross situation. I'm
pretty sure other niggas done did that shit before. You know what I mean? Outside of Drake and Pusha T. But like I said, it's a whole ugly side to the process of the album and its creation and its marketing. You know what I mean? But that's why it was like I wanted to discuss because like we had to discuss it because it was the new album that came out when we did the pod. But it was like I didn't live with my opinions like that like I would on any other album because I just know that it's like the man's passed away. It's cool to appreciate that this is what he came out with. This is the product that we have, and this is what I'll just listen to and go by. But
how did I feel about that cover?
Nuanced conversation.
And Virgil keeping it to Virgil.
Is trash.
Yeah. I give you credit, bro. I give you credit, John. John was on that wave, but it was hard for me to get on that wave though because he got what grew Virgil to fame or to a certain elite status was his women's collection. It wasn't the stuff that niggas was buying, like them belts and stuff. That's not what made.
But he do other covers. He did the Watch the Throne cover, right?
He did a lot of covers. No, that's
Ricardo. He didn't do the Watch the Throne.
That's Ricardo TC. He did a lot of the Donna covers. A lot of the Donna covers is like.
Yeah.
Did he do 2 Chainz cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did 2 Chainz cover, but he definitely did not do the Watch the Throne cover. I seen that on social media.
Watch the Throne was Ricardo TC.
Yeah.
Okay.
The G-Von thing, which time?
And he did the Yeezus cover, right?
Yeah, he did the Yeezus cover.
But I can't give him credit for that though, bro. Because everything got to run through Kanye, bro.
But you know, it's all a collaborative work. But I mean, he had that shit in his gallery opening, like because he was touring work, and that was a part of it. He had like the giant Yeezus thing. You know what I'm saying? I give him that, and I give him like you know how they work is all collaborative. So that Joe Perez nigga will post shit or whatever. And it'll be like, oh,
creative director.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like they work like that. It's kind of weird, but I mean, it gets shit done. This you can tell this nigga don't have that structure no more.
Nope.
For sure.
Hey man, it was very lazy for somebody if that was apparently they last.
He did
don't do that to me.
He did the Drake and Future cover.
Oh, he did
What a time.
What a time to be alive.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, even the cover they got now, I felt it was still lazy. It was easier to market with like doing things on Spotify or doing stuff on Instagram, like little graphics and stuff like that. But I still thought like
the guy that did that cover is the guy that Virgil took the work from.
Oh, okay.
It's the Writer Rips guy. That's the guy that ended up doing that cover. Like, I don't know why they went back to him and got the cover after seeing all the work that everybody was doing on Twitter, Instagram and shit like that. I mean, it'd be a good opportunity to give. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They had that much time though, bro.
They had
you
had
retweeted something I thought was better.
They pick one of them motherfuckers, say, send it to me. Be on your fucking way.
No, but these people, you gotta think, we're our feed is different than their feed. Like you know what I mean? Like they're not saying what we see.
And I understand that they may have had to like
But no, you get
all that
tagged,
stuff.
though.
Like you gotta like submitting the graphics and stuff for shit to play on Spotify in the background and stuff like that to make sure that it's still
Compatible.
on brand.
Compatible.
Yeah, like with the artwork. So I can understand they may not have time to do all of that.
No, I'm saying that
But
they got the word that it was trash when we told them, so they had the time. Niggas started designing shit immediately, putting out shit.
that's true.
Hours later.
Like I said, and what I'm saying is not necessarily just the album cover that's going to be on display when you're searching the album, but like all the other things that go into design, from the marketing and ads and stuff like that. I think that they probably already, they probably went with him because he probably already had like, ideas or whatever. Maybe a lot of people just made a cover, but when it came to all promotional material in relation to the cover, well, it's not a copy and paste, but you took the style of the artwork and put it in other promotional material. That's probably what they could not have enough more time for. You know what I mean? They didn't have enough time for all of that. So they probably just went with your boy. But then again, I don't know. But even then, it's still, they're going to do a deluxe. I'm sure they are. And they're going to do something probably better with the artwork. I'm pretty sure they're going to do a deluxe. Like,
Virgil might be having the worst quarantine, man.
It's his fault.
Yeah,
it's literally his. Nobody asked him to do anything. It's literally him.
I mean, maybe except like hire black designers at Off-White HQ.
That's the thing. I don't expect much from Virgil Abloh.
It's not like a hard thing to ask for. It's not like a hard ask. It's not like it's like, bro, just when you pan the room of everybody that works for you, and there's no black people, and then the other black people that maybe are posting the same thing on their Instagram are also like, let's say, moderately famous black people. Like, I mean, hell, John moved away to work, right? Like, niggas moved to work.
This nigga
Right.
Virgil Abloh said, my office is in Spain, so everybody that works here is from Spain. Like, come on, bro.
Come on, nigga.
Yeah,
That's just
I don't
lazy.
want to, I don't want to be the guy that comes after someone's like spouse as the reason or whatever. But I want to just pose the question. Like, do you guys think that your spouse has, or like the person you're dating, right? If you're in a committed relationship with someone, do you think that they have an impact on like your decision making when it comes to like your career? Like, do you think they have some type of influence
100%.
on you? You don't think
No.
so?
Not for me.
100%.
No, nigga. It depends on what it is, though.
Because I'm thinking like, if I'm dating a certain woman,
I think it
regardless of her skin color, if I'm dating a certain woman, you know what I mean? If she's someone that's like super negative and that's like just all about her and don't really like, I feel like she's not going to really help me make great decisions when it comes to things like if I'm in a position like a Virgil to where, hey, you should probably hire more black people. You know what I mean? You should probably hire more black people because it's going to, you're giving not just it looks good and you're saving face, but think of the possibilities and the careers you could be creating and new experience you could be creating for certain people. You know what I mean? I feel like
If we was all single at the same time, we would have been in New York by now. That's just what it is. I mean, I don't know.
What you mean?
I don't know how. Like, if we was all single at the same time in 2014, we would have moved to New York. Like, that's just what it is. I think.
I can't agree with that because wasn't nobody staying in fucking Tampa for no woman. We all had opportunity to fucking leave.
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying.
No, but I think it's a part of it, though. I don't think it's.
I get opportunity. I'm out, bro.
I can put cash. If anybody had opportunity to leave, they would have left.
Leave.
No, but the
ain't nobody married.
Nobody had
We can
opportunity.
still leave.
We
can still leave.
What you saying? What you saying, Joe?
No, I'm saying you make your own opportunity. Like, I'm sure it wasn't like what I'm saying, this was a subconscious thing. Like, if we was all single at the same time and it was 2015 and we looked around the room, it was like, damn, we all got this. We all play a role. We all do this. We would have been in New York. We would have created the opportunity. It don't mean that somebody had to get a job in New York. Louis Vuitton had to tap Tyree's shoulder and say, let's go, and then we all go. I'm saying that if we was all focused, because I think, oh, shit, can I say this? Hey, Pat, you're going to have to edit this out. I think a part of being in a relationship is part of being distracted. I think that's just what it is. Like, a part of messing with these girls and figuring that part of life out is a distraction.
I can't say that because
because
somebody can say the opposite side. That's something that makes you more focused because it's like,
yeah,
I gotta get this shit together. Like,
what about option C? What about the option where like the spouse doesn't really influence your? I mean, I don't know.
I look at
that's another option. I
look at like so let's look at
option,
let's use like an extreme example like Jay-Z and Beyonce. Like a lot of people like to, you got women on Twitter, the Beehive that promote and be like, oh my God, she never misses, she doesn't do anything wrong, this, that, and third, she always 3 steps ahead. I don't sit here and think for not 1 second that Jay-Z does not have any type of, like he's not involved with that. Like there's no doubt in my mind that Jay-Z is, you mean to tell me Jay-Z is not involved with anything that Beyonce is doing when she's doing stuff for Black women and black people? And the same thing with Jay-Z. You don't think that Beyonce has any influence on some of the decisions she's making?
You can even take that to Kanye West, to where bringing Kim Kardashian to where she's at right now, elevating that whole brand, and then also Kanye finessing that into an ad campaign and all that type of stuff, like.
Right. But we're forgetting different though. The things that it's the thing that's common in both of these. The thing that's common in both of these situations is that they have similar career paths. That's the common denominator.
Even when I'm like, when people ask me like for models and shit, and I ask Christina, which one you think I should use, a black girl and a fucking white girl? Like taking fucking critiques from that fucking helps. You know what I mean? Getting outside opinion.
Right.
Like, cause me, I'm probably gonna always pick black because I don't give a fuck. But just giving a fucking outside opinion from a woman that's also black, it's like, okay, if I did pick this white girl, I'm not a bad person because this person might actually be better in some situations. So, I mean, it's a bad thing. And if they don't help, they don't fucking help. But it surely keep you focused. And when you ain't around trying to fuck all these bitches, you got one fucking woman at the fucking crib. So it's like,
I think I might have misinterpreted the question. My bad. I think I might have misinterpreted because, and by no means, I didn't mean any significant other past or present was a distraction in a negative way. I didn't mean that.
Right.
I think what I was trying to express is like, I guess, to talk about the Beyonce thing is like Beyonce and Jay-Z are already rich and have already gone through this stage where they've already passed of creating branding.
They're not sleeping on couches.
That's true. That's true. But I would say this though. I think the morals that they're putting into we can all see that there's been a huge change in how they're more pro-black than they have ever been in their careers. Like they're pushing for blackness outside of just being black and being great. They're pushing more for blackness in areas in entertainment and just in representation than they have ever done in their career. And they both they've had their careers for at least 20 years now, right? They've been doing this as the last 5 years. They've been doing this more in the last 5 years than they did in their whole entire career. So I think that comes with them both influencing each other. Not saying that one person was just woke and then made the other person woke or nothing like that, but more so, let's say if it did start with Jay-Z taking the time to kind of educate himself a little bit more, or Beyonce to educate herself a little bit more, and then having that conversation with her husband or her companion and realizing, hey, like I bounce off of you, you bounce off of me, and this is how that works. You know what I mean? I feel like your spouse, your companion is a huge influence on your decision making when it comes to not just your life decisions, but your career paths as well. So I look at that. I look at that with Virgil. I look at that with just Kanye.
Yeah, but the difference is they in the same career path.
Let's say with Virgil. So basically, you don't listen to your spouse. Like people don't listen to their spouse unless they are in the same career path. So
right.
Virgil's looking through his catalog of who he can hire, right? He's looking through the catalog, right, and looking through everybody's resumes and shit. And at no point does he call his girl over and be like, or his girl's just not even in the room at all to like peek over the shoulder and be like, I think you should go with the black guy. Or I think you should go with the black girl.
Her opinion doesn't matter because she doesn't know she has no context to anything.
Yeah, like if you were a girl, and she.
But it also might be that his wife not black, so it's like, white people always want to look at the numbers. So him like, look, he might have said, hey man, I got too many fucking white people. I want to hire this black person, but this white person has better credentials. Should I go with them anyway? And his wife was like, nah, go with a better person. But sometimes you might just need to go with the person that's fucking black.
Well, and that's what man, I forgot damn, I keep forgetting everything. Oh, that's what Martin Lamont Hill was talking to Candace Owens about.
With the Candace Owens shit, right? Yeah.
When it came to like college diversity and fucking whatever, affirmative action, whatever the fuck they were talking about. And it's basically just like colleges hire or colleges admit more diversity. And John, you know this shit because they're trying to get a better demographic because that heightens your experience. That introduces more cultures. That makes you think on a different level. Now you're looking at different perspectives or that type of shit. 100%. So it's like if it's just a room full of white people, then they're gonna they're gonna be like, bring another white guy in here. They're not gonna see nothing wrong with it being a room full of white people. If it's a room full of us, we're not gonna see nothing wrong with it not being no white people in the room or not being no Spanish people or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not gonna if it's just an isolated room, let's say with that's the thing. I don't know how that works with a team of black people with a white head. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if that's a thing.
Well, it's a power dynamic at that point. The white person doesn't really have to listen. When you're on that high of a power, you choose when you listen to subordinates, right? So if I'm white, if I'm white and it's six black people under me, and all these black people are pointing to the seventh black person. Well, we should hire a seventh black person. We should hire a seventh black person. I'm white. I don't care. My interests aren't aligned with your interests.
But that's how you run into the ad issues, right? With like these insensitive ads and these insensitive like H&M and shit. And the one black person in the room is like, hey, I don't think it's a good idea, but because it's only one, and let's say the other people aren't even from like America or aren't from this region where they have that issue, they're like, well, I mean, coolest monkey in the jungle. I mean, that makes sense to me. The black person's like, yo, I don't think we should put this black kid in his hoodie. I don't think we should run this on the website.
On it. Yeah.
And they're just like, well, bro, it's fine. Like everybody here thinks it's fine. It's fine. And they run it, and H&M's canceled.
They're wrong.
Yeah. Now, just to kind of go back to the whole
even though I seen question. Thomas a week later shopping for size 28 jeans.
but I say that I know y'all mentioned like you know.
Can't believe you just doxed Thomas.
You can say what 28.
and you doxed him and then gave his waistline too.
I mean, you're a size 28, bro. Come on.
No.
You're a 32.
Nigga said Thomas built like Trina.
Oh shit.
Hey, what's your point?
I guess his phone was dead. Whatever. He on mute right now.
No, but the reason why I asked that is because I don't think that I'm not talking about a woman you meet and you've been dating for like a couple months. I'm talking about your companion, someone that you're in a committed relationship with, right? I don't think that even if that person, if I do events and the girl that I date she never threw events ever in her life. I don't feel that I can be in a relationship with someone, a committed relationship with someone, and they don't have any idea of what I do, where they can't have a conversation with me. Naturally, Thomas, if you doing shit with fucking clothes and whatnot, and you talking to your lady, she may not ever show clothes in her life, but I'm pretty sure because she's around you, day-to-day life, you are probably going to communicate stuff that you do when it comes to your day, right? You get home, hey, babe, how was your day? Oh, I was doing this, I was doing that, da-da-da-da. You don't fucking do hair, right? If your girl do hair and she was like, man, I was doing this, da-da-da-da, and you come like, well, why don't you think about doing this, right? But you never saw hair in your life, but you can have a conversation with her about what the fuck she do. You know what I mean? When you're with someone, you become part of their life. Your business is a part of your life, whether they have a certificate or certification, whatever, to do it, they know you and they know about what you do. So they are going to have a conversation with you about some of the decisions you're going to make when it comes to your craft or your business. You know what I mean? I've dated a few girls that have had fucking opinions about what I fucking do with Beast and Chill, and they ain't never thrown an event in their life. And sometimes they brought valid points of what I should do. You know what I mean? I took that information. Sometimes I applied it and it didn't work. Sometimes I did, and it did work. You know what I mean? But I feel like your partner has a direct significance to like your decision making. And I feel like that goes into not only the type of person they are when it comes to how they think, but where they come from and their culture. You know what I mean? If you have a black woman, you have a Spanish Latin woman or a white woman or someone that's, none of the that's other or whatever the fuck, You know what I mean? They're going to have some type of influence on your decision making. You know what I mean? So I honestly think they have a huge influence on that. You know, and I think maybe when we look at these guys that make these decisions, from the Kanye's, Jay-Z's, the Virgils, to anyone else, you know, look at the structure that they have around them. Are they married? Are they with someone? You know what I mean? Like, maybe the person that they have, if you look a little closer at that, you may be able to put two and two together when it comes to how they make certain decisions. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that the common person doesn't pay attention to. They just stay on the surface. But I think that's something that you should probably pay attention to kind of make more of an informed. When you make an opinion, at least you kind of can look past just the surface and be like, okay, you know what I mean, and really say, okay, well, this is probably why. I can see why he probably did that, or I can see this makes sense. You know, not to say that it's right, but I just feel like that's my opinion on that. You know what I mean? And I feel like, you know, I didn't want to come after Virgil and be like, oh, he got a white wife, and that's why it's all white people. That's not necessarily what I'm saying, but I don't think it's too far-fetched to not say, hey, look, maybe he may be a little off when it comes to black relevance, black relevance in his business, because maybe he doesn't have a huge a community around him of people who are of black culture that's surrounding his business. Obviously, his employees are not.
I'm not gonna tell you to hire some black people. She gonna say,
At the end of the day,
you need some niggas in here. She ain't gonna tell you.
Hell, imagine a white lady walking. It's bright in here, Virgil. But I kind of agree with. What is that?
I didn't get it, bitch. You lost me, bitch.
Oh, you don't know?
Oh,
it's a story. Yeah. It's a story about I think it was SNL. One of the Wayans brothers went in there and said, "It's bright in here," because there was a whole bunch of white writers.
Clapped and disappeared.
That's funny.
Yeah. But I agree with Hometown to an extent. It depends. I think it depends on the type of person you are. Like, kind of made me feel bad. You saying people listen to their spell. My girl says she don't like a beat. I'm still dropping that. I'm dropping that.
Yeah. I feel on that, but I feel at the end of the day, you're gonna make a certain decision. But I just feel like, you know, in most situations, right? Let's say if we were all married to the person that we're with, right? They're gonna have some type of influence on your decision making when it comes to your business, when it comes to, because your business is gonna affect your personal life, right? So they're gonna have some type of effect on that. So I just think that
I can't see you, brother. I would like to see you. I can hear you, but I can't see you.
No, I see my bad. I laughing because I seen Pat bite a chip ferociously. I don't know what that was.
I'm trying not to get the crunch in the mic, so I'm trying to like kind of suck on a little bit.
Hometown disappeared.
I suck your chips.
I've done that. You done that?
You said what?
I'm trying to suck on my chips. I want the crunch. Oh. Wow, right, all right.
I wanted to wait for Hometown to come because we're about to close soon.
Closing time.
I had a tweet that I was going to tweet.
I want to take home the nigga that's sucking chips.
Got faces on there looking at Pat saying this shit.
Hey, it's hard to suck. Hey, it's hard to suck a Funyun, boy. I tell you that much.
I know who I want to take me home.
I should have put the roof of your mouth.
I did a report on that song in college. That song's about him like having a kid and not being able to like have fun anymore.
Really?
Closing time.
Closing time.
I thought it was about a store closing.
Already passed.
Me, that's what I thought it was. I thought the bar was closing, and he found a bitch he wanted to take home. But I never actually listened to the words of the song. I mean, women in.
All right, y'all want to play a game real quick? Y'all want to open your Twitter and read the first draft?
Okay.
Dang, you ain't said nothing.
Bro.
How you see a draft?
You gotta go.
You go to your tweets. You like you're about to tweet, and it says it should say like the drafts option.
I ain't got
that nigga shoot every.
Okay,
nigga should never bullet his load, bitch.
I'm so glad this is
Hey,
my
read
first
the-
one.
Hey, read the first 3 drafts.
I ain't got
First
shit.
3?
Mine's fucking pictures. Mine's bullshit.
And then read the DMs.
Oh.
Okay, so I got the first 3 I got is number 1, somebody sucked that baby's dick.
All right.
Oh my god.
What was this referring to?
It's that damn that Cuba Gooding.
Thomas, what? What?
Oh.
Somebody
No,
sucked that
Thomas.
baby's
Thomas
dick.
got
No,
a
you
big
tweeted that
man.
already though. Then you
This
tweet
nigga,
that?
this nigga telling me which baby is it? This
Oh, jeez.
Nah, 'cause you tweeted that already. Didn't you not?
I guess I did. Oh damn.
Yeah, he's your phone just got face on love on it. Yeah. Oh man. My first tweet. I don't know. My drafts is dumb. My drafts.
Mine's is
Oh,
I
you
be
the one
going in.
You tweeted the video instead of the actual tweet.
Yeah, because you can't say somebody said that baby's dick. you can't
Coach
tweet
you.
that. You can't tweet that.
Man,
What
why
did
you
you say?
responding yesterday on Twitter?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. See, here you go, bro. Nobody know the fuck you talking about, bro. Let it die. Let it die. Let it die, bro.
Hey, when you let the nigga with the wildest blurbs in charge of editing.
Boy, oh boy.
Oh man.
All right, so mine was what's the most useless verse of all time? My vote is gutter gutter on Mrs. Officer. But I think it was isn't that Jay Mills?
Hot one, cousin.
Hey bro, that Jay Mills is trash. Hometown, what you got?
Bro, mine's just arguing back with black women. But I didn't post it.
Read them, cousin.
You gotta say it, bro.
Hey, bitch. So
No, I actually I wrote a thread. I'm gonna just read the first part.
Wait,
I
You
said-
got a thread in the draft.
I got a thread in the drafts, bitch.
it's a question.
I said, I remember we collectively shouted out about racism, police brutality, about basically just leaving black people alone. We had our own, and others say, "What about black on black?" And we said, "Nah, fuck that. We talking about this." That's where I started at. That's it. That's the draft.
We was upset in this house about that shit, man. We had to
What's
figure
your
that shit
second
out,
one?
man. Second one,
Huh?
I've moved to Instagram looking at things I shouldn't be. Let's go back to the second draft.
My second one was Ain't Larry June, just Sprite remix Currency.
That's funny. You should have let that one go.
No, I had to shelf that one, bro.
Sprite remix currency. That's mean.
But keep it in there.
Who's Larry June?
Does Currency have any songs with Larry June?
Tyree got impeccable timing, bro. Who's Larry June? How you wait till his dead silence to ask that question, man? It's pretty good.
Does Currency have any songs with him? Y'all know?
Probably.
Yeah.
Got songs every fucking
What
body.
other what was the other thing you had? What was number 7, bro?
Oh yeah, and the last topic was this was a tweet too, but I kept it in. So if you could see one artist perform one song, what would it be?
What is this person dead? What are you talking about?
Dead or alive? Like one artist perform one song live, what would it be? Or who would it be?
It's probably gonna be Michael Jackson for me.
I'm
Which
cycling
song?
back and forth.
What's
Beat
that
it.
song? He
Yeah, I want to see Michael Jackson perform PYT, bitch.
what's that song he was performing on Moonwalker Pat? It was a Spinal Factor.
Your spinal cracker! Wanna samba! Everybody!
Hey, do the
I was like, what the
intro
fuck
to
is
Rocket
going
Bro.
on? I feel like Tyreek be wanting to do shit.
That might be the worst
I think I
transition.
want to rap.
I think that might be the worst transition.
Everybody, about you.
Oh my
I
god.
feel like Tyree wanted to do exactly what Pat do, but he like, I ain't gonna attempt it.
He be ashamed of me. He be
I despise that
nigga.
Ashamed every time.
Hey, do that shit again, Pat.
Oh boy, you know that shit public bitches.
I came up.
Trying to look at pretty girls. Them niggas singing goddamn 80s music. Like, hey, y'all chill out, nigga. You don't know no young jock niggas? Y'all niggas doing, man.
You don't know young jock?
Hey, bitch. I came a long way. I came a long way, bro. I came a long way. Oh, shit, bro.
Do you that's the name of the episode. You don't know no young jock?
You don't know no young jock.
Oh my god.
Damn,
But it'll be Michael Jackson, man. Any song, it don't matter.
All right, the nigga do Ghost. You gonna be mad.
Be scared as a bitch.
You gonna be mad.
Damn,
Oh,
dog.
shit.
I don't know, man. That's a tough one. One song?
Can you like not do dead or alive? Can we just have alive people? Because like it's a lot of dead people.
Mine's gonna be dead, to be honest.
Nope.
Who is it, Thomas? Al Green?
Nah, it's probably gonna be Prince. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice choice.
You see Purple Rain?
It's the only two, right? Like, it's the only two you really kind of.
Yeah. Or Beethoven, but.
Just see me as black.
You want to see that nigga?
That nigga was the nigga. What Prince song?
Probably Purple Rain or Dubs Cry.
Bitch, I watched that Super Bowl shit like at least probably like once every like couple months.
Yeah.
That was a great fucking Super Bowl. FAMU came out and shit.
Probably Purple Rain though, because I want to hear that guitar solo.
Who they yelling at?
I like to see Whitney Houston perform the Bodyguard song.
Which one though? Like Prime Whitney or like she came back? Because when she came back, she ain't have it.
Prime.
I want to say D'Angelo.
I'm so dumb. I'm like, D'Angelo ain't dead. I think we just name a dead nigga. I'm like, nigga still alive.
See Ty Dolla $ign perform Horses in the Stable.
Voodoo.
Cruise. Oh God, that should be amazing.
So what song? What song?
Probably either Send It Up or Send It On or Cruising. That should be amazing, bitch. Because you know he covered the Smokey Robinson Cruising.
I want to see Megan Thee Stallion do the Hill Toe. Whatever song she did.
I don't want to.
I keep one of the things keep cycling back is goddamn Crazy in Love, bitch. I want to hit them there. I don't like horns, bitch, but I want to hit them fucking horns, bro. Beyonce shit, bro.
By Beyonce?
Yeah, man. I want to see her do that shit, man. This type of shit he don't like when I be doing this shit. He be trying to holler at bitches like me.
Be Crazy in Love. That's crazy.
Hey, Jordan, did you answer the question?
For me, it's tough. If it's dead or alive, it's tough.
Okay.
If it's alive, you said what? What you say?
He said R. Kelly.
Nah.
The whole Trapped in the Closet series.
Nah.
No,
I'll say
if somebody offered before pre-2015, if I could see Trapped in the Closet live, I would definitely go see that. Trapped in the Closet on ice.
What about 2030? 2030 when, you know, things mellow.
When the Reaper stops dancing.
You know, 2030, 2035, free tickets. You just want 95.7 to beat. Give away free tickets to go see Trapped in the Closet on ice. You going?
I'm definitely going. I can't not see Trap
that
Closet,
can't
man.
You say Trap the Closet on ice.
That can't. I
That
mean,
nigga spit in the air.
somebody said it first. It wasn't my idea. Somebody said it first.
I would say, I mean, I remember being a kid waiting for the new one to drop on the radio. They be
Like,
like,
I
3
remember how
o'clock.
pizza- burn his ass in hell. I just want to listen to Trap in the Closet.
Yo, how many chop this is the?
Burn his ass in hell.
Like, I think it's like 21. Dude,
Like
We got
56, ain't it?
what? Yeah, 56. What? So what's you got doing?
If it was alive, I would want to see Kanye West do Late. And if it was dead, I would like to hear Prince do. I would probably want Prince to do the him and the piano series. It's a song called "I Know You See Me." Nah, I know you see me. You're gonna see.
I know you
This
see me.
nigga know Young Jock.
It's done. You're gonna see me. Oh my gosh.
I know
Yeah.
you see me.
But if it's
All right.
alive, I definitely want to hear Kanye West do Late. That's like my favorite Kanye West song, low key.
This nigga know Young Jock.
All right.
That's the trailer
Thank y'all.
for the video, bro.
This nigga young John.
I appreciate y'all for participating. Hope everybody take care of themselves. All watch. Thank you for watching. That was like about to be 3 hours. Any final thoughts before we wrap? Huh?
Everybody protected.
I'm
Add me
surprised.
on.
Black,
Yeah,
we're trying to understand y'all. We might need a little more help.
So
You
listen.
gotta-
So J. Cole was right.
Hey, look.
Oh.
Tell you what. J. Cole's absolutely right.
Nah, he would.
He was.
Hey, anybody else final thoughts?
Nah,
Hey,
he
add
would.
me on
J. Cole,
PSN.
J. Cole's right.
HMT and A8. Know what I mean?
And we need to vote on was J. Cole right or not.
I don't think J. Cole was right, bro. Not in terms of what he was saying,
All
but
right, so we got 2 for the yes. We got 2 for eyes and what's shit called? Eyes and nays, bitch.
We just gonna let those who say
Yeas and nays.
Yays and nays.
So 2-2. Thomas, what do you think? Was J. Cole right? Huh?
J. Cole's right.
Oh,
why
we
you
need
looked out? Why you looked out when you said it?
Oh no, I got another.
You had to text Sierra real quick.
Hey, I'm about to say some wild shit.
baby.
Hey, these niggas lame. Don't watch this shit.
All right, Derek, you last one.
Man, I think that
That's funny. That's
This
funny.
nigga froze it.
I get
Let's see how long he can hold it.
yeah, man.
What did you say?
Oh, y'all hear me?
You was froze.
All right, man. Well, thank y'all for rocking out for another episode 2 of the group chat. Make sure you follow everybody.
And you let him off the hook.
Also follow the Opinionated page on Twitter and on Instagram and on YouTube. Thank y'all for hanging out with us today. Thank y'all for commenting. Look forward to episode 3 in November.
Two big bitches in the bag of weed.
I'm gonna just.
I can't take Thanksgiving on quarantine.